Well, kids, congratulations on order. You've got a bunch of asshole Republicans, a dementia boy, the Inflation Act, or as I like to call it, the Explosion Act of 2022 is now law. And by the way, enjoy your $20 billion tax increase. I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this is what's next.
What the fuck?
What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganzo here. Another episode of What's Next, your daily dose. Hope you guys are doing okay. Okay, good, great. I hope you're doing amazing today. Well, after you hear this, you probably won't be feeling too amazing. The Inflation Reduction Act, or as I like to call it, the America Over and Over Act, is now law. Dementia Boy signed it. He is patting himself on the back, breaking both shoulders. You got the Democrats, you got the SEALs going on how great it is. Yeah, a $20 billion tax increase for the middle class. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, you did that. Let's take a look. This comes out of PJ Media. Surprise, Biden's Inflation Reduction Act will raise taxes on the middle class by $20 billion. The horribly misnamed Inflation Reduction Act won't raise taxes on a single American taxpayer who makes less than $400,000 a year since Joe Dementia and every other Democrat who talks about that bill. But the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, begs to differ. In fact, the CBO called Biden and Democrats liars and asswipes. That's me. I added that one in. Contrary to the assurances we get from Democrats on a daily basis that the bill won't raise taxes on the middle class, the CBO has $20 billion reasons why the Democrats are lying. From the Post, New York Post. An analyst by the CBO estimates those earnings less than $400,000, a group on which Biden promised not to raise taxes, will pay an estimated $20 billion more in taxes over the next decade. As a result of the Democrats pushed a $740 billion package, which also sets $80 billion on the side there, for 87,000 new hires at the IRS. Lovely. The bill has yet to be scored in its entirety by the CBO, which typically gives each piece of legislation a price tag before it is voted on. But the agency scored the impact on IRS expansion on middle-class taxpayers on August 12th, after a provision from Senator Mike Crapo, Fitz, sought to exempt those making under $400,000 from increased IRS scrutiny. Well, guess what? That's in the crapper. Crapo's proposed amendment would have kept those taxpayers from being targeted by the new IRS hires, but its provision was shot down 51-50. Gee, I wonder who cast the deciding vote by the Senate last week. The tip-off should have been that the Democrats wanted to rush the bill through a vote before the CBO was finished with its analysis. Just like Barack Obama knew his statement, "If you like your health care plan, you can keep it," was bullshit. Biden knows that his pledge not to raise taxes on those making less than $400,000 is also bullshit. The CBO analysis confirms an earlier report from the Joint Committee on Taxation that found that throwing an extra $80 billion at the IRS to improve the agency's collection of underreported income, that's you and me, will end up targeting small business owners to pay for the legislation. Fact. The reason is simple. Small business owners' money is low-hanging fruit on the IRS. So it's easy to go after them. Most small businesses are organized on a pass-through entities, LLCs and S-Corps. James Lucier, manager director of the Washington-based policy research firm Capital Alpha, told the Post. Proponents of the increased audit specifically say they want to target pass-through entities, which inherently means targeting small business and small business owners. Yes, it's bad enough Koof didn't wipe them out, so now here comes the IRS. The IRS will have to target small and medium businesses because they won't fight back, adds Joe Hinchman, executive vice president at National Taxpayer Union Foundation. We've seen this play out before. The IRS says we're going after the rich, but when you're trying to raise that much money, the rich can only get you so far. The White House is trying the look squirrel defense while denying the tax hike for middle Americans. The administration claims that the CBO isn't taking into account that the bill will offset costs for things like prescription drugs for average Americans. Believe it when you see it. Given $80 billion to the IRS to increase enforcement is encouraging the agency to be bullying more Americans. the notion that any good will come from this is absurd, or once again, I like to use the word bullshit. How's that for inflation reduction? $20 billion are going to be slapped on the middle class. You and me, those who are making less than $400,000 a year, are going to get hammered by this shit. See, the Democrats aren't stupid. They knew that if they could rush it through without the CBO checking, crossing every T and dotting every I, that they could say, hey, you know what? Oops, my bad. Again, more fuel for the fire come November. Remember it. Savor it. Nightmare it. Because that's exactly what's coming over the next decade for every single person who makes under 400 grand a year. Again, let me emphasize, that's you and me. So come November, you've got a decision to make. You either wipe these assholes out, or this country continues to get fucked over and over and over and over. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.